Yo, what's up guys? So in today's session I'm going to be teaching on Bitcoin. I'm going to be giving my analysis on Bitcoin, right? Okay, so before we actually get into the analysis, the technical analysis, there's something that I want to tell you, right? So if you look at Bitcoin, you actually realize that Bitcoin in the world, we only have about 21 million Bitcoins. That's the supply of Bitcoin that we have. It's a limited supply, right? Then in the world, if you look at it again, you see that we have about 8 billion people. So we have 21 million coins against 8 billion people. So imagine, right, if everyone in the world wants Bitcoins, or the millionaires, how many millionaires do we have in the world? If every millionaire actually wants Bitcoin, right? So it means it's going to be used by just millionaires, right? So it means there's just too much demand for Bitcoin, right? It's a scarce product. So just think to yourself, what happens to scarce products? What happens to scarce products, right? So the question now is that we'll actually have to answer in the comment section: is Bitcoin crashing, right? If you look in the internet, almost everyone is talking about the Bitcoin crash and everything. So is it actually crashing, right? So what I've actually explained before will actually give you an answer to that, right? Just drop your answer in the comment section and I'll do another video looking at those comments that you have dropped. Okay, so let's get to the analysis right now, right? Okay, so Bitcoin is never actually broken the previous lows that it actually created. If you look at the lows, that is about around negative $71, they actually never broke this one. They moved up, created a new high around $121 after this impulse move. They never broke this one. If you look to the right, they gave another impulse move to around 19k, then they retraced back to 19k. They didn't break this previous low at around 121 bucks, 200 and whatever bucks, right? Then they gave another impulse move that actually broke this high, another impulse move there, right? So the other question that I have for you guys: was this a valid low? Was this a corrective move? Did the corrective move actually ended to this point, right? Was this a new high in the market, right? So these concepts are actually explained in the other videos that are actually coming on this session, on this YouTube channel, right? So the actual question is, was this a BMS, right? Do you take this as a BMS in the Forex market? Was this a BMS? Then if it's not a BMS, what it is? What is it, right? Just drop your answers in the comment section. I want to explain that one, right? But I'll explain it later on in the upcoming videos, like I've said, right? Then price corrected here to this low, right? What made price to actually bounce on this very point and move upwards? Do we actually have a demand zone there? Yeah, we have it on lower time frames, but does it hold on the monthly time frame? What is it, right? And what is it that we have on this move? All these things are actually taught in the previous sections, right? So let me get to analyze it, right? So what we have on Bitcoin is the low that can actually hold price on Bitcoin is this one, that is actually sitting at around 3,000, 2,000 point something, right? But let's analyze what price actually did from there. So price managed to move slightly up. It didn't break those highs, right? It's still within this corrective structure, right? Then price retested. So this retest is a mitigation of this order block. So this order block was actually mitigated. It's no longer a fresh order block, right? So the fresh order block that we actually have in this market is this one. This is the fresh order block. This is the fresh zone that we're actually looking at on Bitcoin, right? This is the fresh order block that we have on Bitcoin. Then let's also study what happened here. So price managed to move slightly upwards, right? Then we got another bearish block that pushed downwards, testing this very order block again after its break. So it means this one was also mitigated. Then we managed to move upwards, right? This one again was retested by this bearish block. So it was mitigated again. So the only fresh order block that we actually have, or the fresh demand zone that was never tested on Bitcoin that we actually have, is this one, right? So this makes me focus on this very order block, or on this very demand zone, right? So it means my price, I expect my price on Bitcoin to actually drop at least to these zones. Then ultimately we get the what? The bullish move. We get the bullish move on Bitcoin, right? That's my analysis, right? So what is it that is on this very point? What is it that they're doing, right? This is just sell stops liquidity that they are taking from these lows, right? So allow them to take the sell stops liquidity, right? The problem with many traders or investors on Bitcoin, they just think that Bitcoin is a bullish market and all that they're thinking about is buying this asset. That's not true, right? That's why you see we have other traders who are actually buying Bitcoin at around 68,000, right? What it tells you, it means that they don't know wave analysis. They don't know how the market moves, right? Then what is it that they were taking on these very highs? These were buy stops liquidity that they were just grabbing. This is not a BMS, right? It's a grab of buy stops liquidity. It's a stop band, right? So I've actually told you what it is, right? But this concept I'll actually shade in the upcoming video, right? So I'll explain on what is a fake BMS and what are stop bands, right? So here they just this was more like an liquidity engineering move, right? So they engineered more liquidity here that they have to come and trap from this point, right? Further analysis on it, you actually see that we have imbalances that are lying on these zones that have to be closed, right? So this is an imbalance that has to be closed, right? If you go slightly lower, we'll see that we also have some imbalances all the way to these zones, right? It's just imbalances, right? So depending with who actually taught you this concept, right? Some just call them imbalances, some actually call them fair value gaps, FVG, right? So these are fair value gaps that we actually have at these points, right? So before we actually get to this demand zone, we have fair value gaps there. And what do you know about fair value gaps? Price actually have to close those fair value gaps first, right? So this is what we have in Bitcoin. Bitcoin actually has to drop at least to price around 10 11k there, 9 10 11k there, 12k there. Then we'll start having some rejections. Then we get our impulse moves, right? So this is actually not a crash in the Bitcoin market, right? Price will hold at these lows, right? This is the recent low that they created in the market and the strong low or the strong demand that they created in the market, right? This was actually fake BMS, right? Liquidity engineering, right? This will be explained later on, right? So expect price to take all the stop losses that are actually lying in these zones, right? So it's actually causing fear in most investors who actually invested in Bitcoin, right? They think this thing is already crashing. So now they're selling all their coins that they're having. It's panic mode, right? But when you see panic mode as here Sniper X, we actually see opportunities, right? So panic mode for other traders is opportunities for us, right? So where are our opportunities lying? Our first opportunities are lying in this zone. So the moment we see price getting to about 12k, we start buying Bitcoin. We start buying Bitcoin in volumes, then hold for swing trading and for investing, right? So we can take this as trading and investing, right? Then let's actually go to the daily chart and see what it actually did on the previous days. Some actually thought Bitcoin price is going to hold on this very low, right? They thought price was going to hold at this very low, right? And they actually gave some rejections on that price. But now look at this engulfing scenario that we actually got here, right? It's actually a sign that this thing is heading to these to these lows, just this engulfing scenario. So we expect some more beers here of about 6 days of drops. It might actually reach to these very lows, right? So we actually in a critical moment, in a critical time where Bitcoin will actually give some good drops before we actually get the impulse move. And that impulse move is going to be very, very fast. It's going to be very, very fast. So the moment you see your price tapping those zones, make sure you have something in your Bitcoin wallets. You have some investments in Bitcoin, or you're taking some trades as trading. So guys, thank you for joining in for this session, right? Hope to see you in the next videos that I'll actually upload on this channel, right? Remember to subscribe if you're actually new to this channel. Also remember to leave a comment and a like on this channel. Thank you guys for your time.